Hello friends, welcome to bed yoga. Have you ever wondered what you would do when you first woke up in the morning? What stretches or yoga poses would be most beneficial? Well, I would say whatever feels good, but sometimes it's nice to get ideas. So how do you get out of bed in the morning? This is really important because you could be setting up your nervous system for sort of an anxiety-ridden day just by how you move your body when the alarm goes off, even if you don't wake up to an alarm. So let's say we're lying down. What usually happens is we come down, we've been here for hopefully 8 to 10 hours, some less, some more. The alarm goes off, and the first thing we do is we pick up our head. And I would say that's probably not the best thing to do. So take a nice roll over. Hit that alarm. When you do get up in the morning, think about rolling to the side, letting your head drag on your pillows, and then pushing up. And then so from here, I would just flip around and go to a child's pose. If I do that now, my butt will be in your face. So I'm going to do the classy version, and I will face you. So child's pose is a great first pose to get into. You have pillows at your disposal. Some have more than others. And so it doesn't have to be a super deep child's pose. You can have your knees apart if you want a little stretching in the spine, which you probably do, because most of us will be sleeping with our spine flexed, right? So you turn your head to one side. And of course, start your breathing out right for the day, right? So breathe all the way down. Breathe through the ribs. Let the abdominal cavity change shape, so feel expansion behind the ribs, down into your side waist, into the low part of your belly, and down even into the floor of your pelvis. Just feel all sorts of things expand and then go back to a neutral shape on the exhale. You can turn your head whenever you want to. And then start your thoughts off right. So find something really positive, something that is manageable, that could happen that day, that could really get something going for you. In other words, I might think of when I wake up, oh boy, I can't wait, I get to do something I really love today. I get to teach yoga, or I get to do, some Thai body work. I get to talk astrology with someone. If I don't have anything planned, I plan a few things. I say, okay, I can't wait to get up and make my morning chai. Doesn't have to be anything elaborate. Just get yourself kind of psyched up for even the little things that you look forward to. Or make up something to look forward to when you get up in the morning. Maybe it's doing your bed yoga. And when you're done, it's nice to take the hands in close to the knees and then let your head hang down. And then from here, it would probably benefit you to have a nice side body stretch. So you can use the pillows again, that you can take them with you and they can be your best friend, right? So pulling in one of your knees, we'll do a Janu Shirshasana here. And you can just drape yourself over. Remember, you just woke up in the morning, and so you were very still, most of you, and a lot of connective tissue already started sort of forming and binding in certain areas, right? So you're not going for your ultimate stretch. And I hope that's common sense, but if it's not, now you know. There's a reason why when animals get up out of a sleep or they've been lying down a while, the first thing they do is they stretch out. And that's really what we should be doing too, technically. And so in this pose, you can have your head turned again. If you're able to prop your forehead on something to free the nasal passages, that works too. And keep connection to your breath. You're trying to set a pattern for the rest of your day. Nice deep breathing through the nose if possible, so you can absorb the oxygen and have good vasodilation so the blood flows well, freely, so you can trigger more of your parasympathetic nervous system. If you breathe through your mouth, you tend to bypass a lot of really important functions and signals to your nervous system. So using the nose as much as humanly possible will really benefit you in a lot of ways that will be subtle, and you will notice them over time. If you have a pillow or two, you could sneak your arm under your pillow and turn this into more side bendiness now. And if you have worked diligently for or were born with more natural flexibility, you may even take the opposite arm overhead, and I like to take it behind, like the nape of the neck, and with my fingers feel around for some tender spots around the occipital ridge or where the neck meets the base of the skull. And then I can rest it, letting my elbow sort of rest down. The more I turn my chest forward into the sky, the more I feel the stretch on the side, and the more I turn my chest downward, it becomes more of a stretch in the back. And you can toggle between the two, right? So getting your body ready for movement really gently can be a wonderful signal to your nervous system that, today doesn't have to be a crazy, constant worry, thinking about the next step and then the next step. It can be very much an in-the-moment event. Good, we'll come up. I like to just kind of pull the belly in a little bit when I slide up from any bending forward. And then we'll switch sides. If you like to go neutral, maybe for about 10 breaths, you can take a nice neutral position. But I'm not going to stay there too long. I'm going to just switcheroo right away. And again, start more forward bendy. And if you have other pillows, and your knee kind of hurts or you're not feeling particularly good with this knee flexion, you can prop the knee up. And also remember that pillows are great for propping yourself up on too. And many people might need that, especially first thing in the morning, because they just don't have that flexibility anywhere down here in the bottom, the base of the pelvis and the tops of the backs of the thighs. So you have all these built-in props when you do some yoga first thing in the morning. Choose to turn to the side. The double pillow method works quite nicely. And then ask yourself if there's enough flexibility present naturally that you can lift up that other arm. If it feels like a strain or that you're tugging at the waistline, like right now on this side, I feel like I'm tugging at my waistline and I don't want to do that. I just want to take this arm down. So if you start your day off gently like this and you're not putting yourself into moments of striving right off the bat. You know, some people will say, well, I can lift this arm, I can extend it, I can reach my foot. Right off the bat, they're starting the day off in this sort of ego-dominated mode, which may or may not be detrimental, especially if you're the type of person that, you know, really feels like, oh, I've got to be the best at this, and I've got to be the perfect this, and I've got to always work my body and my mind to its most highest capabilities every moment of every day. That, in and of itself, induces stress. So to be able to hold back and say, yes, I could do that, but I think I'm going to pass, that could be an interesting lesson for many of us. And then from your side bend, I would end with a nice, very gentle heart opener to get yourself a little bit enlivened for the day. So you've got single, double, triple pillow, whatever works for you, right? You can just lie back. I'm going to cross my legs because I don't feel much when I cross my legs, but I know it's giving me a nice little opening here. In this case, my legs would dangle off the side of the bed, but if you were facing the other way, you could have your legs extended. You could also have the soles of your feet together. This is not my favorite position, so I'm not going to force myself into it first thing in the morning. Life is often very full of things we are not thrilled about doing or don't want to do. And sometimes we put ourselves in situations where we do things that we dread. And why not start off your morning with things that you enjoy or feel enjoyable, where you don't have to be the best at or the most extreme at, where you don't have to follow any rules that are externally set. You can follow your own body's guidance system. And in this case, closing your eyes might induce you to go back to sleep. So you could have your eyes gently open, gazing down the tip of your nose. You could also induce a bigger back bend by taking out a pillow. And depending on how squishy your pillows are, I've got some that are squishy and some that are not. This one halfway cooperates. You can kind of lean back so you've got less surface area. There we go. Less surface area. And so thus a little bit more lift through the spine so the chest can open. And then this can be a really good way to start the day with a nice heart opening position. Anything where the front of the body is sort of spread out, stretched out, puffed up, sort of charges the energy in the body. And also, it has been tested in a few experiments where before job interviews or situations that generally make people nervous, where they did things like this, they went into the bathroom and they lifted their arms and they puffed up their chest and they just moved their body in certain ways that induced confidence, and the results were really, really not surprising, but incredibly supportive to the idea that this heart opening, this chest lifting, this lengthening of the low belly and deepening back really gives that sense of empowerment. There's that sense that you don't have to think too hard, you don't have to try too hard, you just have to be yourself. So you can stay here as long as you want and then go about your day. So I hope you've enjoyed your first thing in the morning bed yoga. This can always be done on the floor too. If you liked this video, or you want more of it, or you have other suggestions about where, how, when to do yoga, send me an email, yogi@charelsonyoga.com. Subscribe, of course, because I have lots of awesome videos already on my channel and in the works. And then like the video if you liked it. Have a lovely rest of your day. Live long and prosper.